Okay, this is a cat condo. It's going to be the new habitat for the kittens. There's a lot of parts. I was hoping it'd be one of those open up, floof it out, and then I could put it together. Okay. This is not my skill strength, but we're going to go for it. Okay, so the instructions read, connect component A with accessories 1, 2, and 3. So component A are all these poles. It's got an A on the back, on the bag. And then accessory 1 is this rectangular one. Accessory B is the one with the little hole there. And then accessory C will be this little hourglass shaped thing. Now I gotta get that dog bowl out of the way. Sorry about that. Alright, here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna try to explain what you're looking at. Step 1, with all these teeny weeny little dots right here, that if you're over 40, you will need your reading glasses. So you're using 12 rods of part A, and these are the long rods, okay? That's part A. Then it's got the number of parts, part 1, which is this squirrely looking little thing. They want you to use 2 of those. So those are here. Literally, this is like putting a Lego set from hell together, okay? And then, because I'm not good at this stuff, but okay. Then you're using, it just tells you the number of parts that you put on, and then each of these has the item number with the pictures. The bags are marked. So part 1, step 1, is the base which we've built. That's how you're going to start off your base. I'm going to try to get part 2 before I go to put the chickens up. Alright, the second step was pretty easy. Everything that had a hole pointing up, you just stick one of the holes in it. You stick one of the poles in it. So then we're going to add the attachments to it when I get back in and somebody has made herself comfortable. Okay, step 2, we did that. Oof. Sorry, shaking. Alright, we did step 2 before I went outside, came back inside and got all these little attachments on. What's going to trip you up on this, because it's hard to tell, this drawing is like so tiny. You're trying to get them to go. If you get confused, your main goal is to get them lined up to where part A, which is the straight pole, is going to fit. And so this is going to be the side that's got the 2 little sections in there. And this is going to be the bigger area here. And so we're going to move on to step number 4, and I'll be right back with you.
Oh, geez.
Okay. In the name of everything sacred and holy, I don't recommend this at all. It was very cumbersome to put together. This is what the frame looks like. This is way wider. Oh, they're not used to not going through there. Oh my God. Okay, I had to laugh. I mean, this will make you say bad words, and it's like way bigger than it was supposed to be. And now we're going to put the cover on. I'll show you it with the cover on. Okay, as much as it pains me to say this, do not get this. we're giving up for the night. I'm going to clean their regular little habitat that they've outgrown, but they're going to spend one more night in there. We're literally going to have to take the poles. We had to undo that one because it was caving in on itself. This is too tall to get. It's got two zippers, and then you got a top and you got a bottom. There is no way the size of the cover is going to cover these poles. We're going to have to take them off tomorrow, knock a couple inches off of them, each of these poles here at the top, so that we can lower it down enough to get the cover on there. It literally will not go on, and we had to relieve the stress off of that pole there because, yeah, it was going to bend on itself. So, epic fail. We've been working on this for 2 hours, and we will continue tomorrow. I want to shower and forget this project for the night. Yeah, I'll give you the brand name so that nobody else has to do this. Okay, there it is. We had to literally take, and by we, I said I pulled the poles, the 6 poles at the top. Had to get Marty to cut them. He suggested cutting them 4 inches down. He used a multi-tool for that. Took them outside and cut them down by 4 inches. And then we were still having trouble getting this cover fit on here. These kept trying to bow up, so we had to use incredible body strength, because once you get these connected, they're tight. Pulled this one out, that one out, those 2 on the end out. He took a 1/2 inch off of those. So now I'm going to go ahead and get the kittens' stuff put in here. Then they're going to have baths, but this was literally a man who does home rehab, bathroom remodeling, literally building anything, building decks. He and I struggled with this. One person cannot, I don't see how, do this. If you can, your will is stronger than mine. But this was horrifying, to say the least. I'm glad we got it put together. Obviously, there is no way under the sun it's coming apart, because as far as like packing and storing, that ain't gonna happen. We'll just probably have to take it and put it in the basement or something, and then at such a time I retire from fostering kittens, then I can just turn it over to the rescue, because I really wanted something that would be easy to come up and take down and fold into storage. This is not it. This is the Maloroy, M-A-L-O-R-O-Y Cat Condo. And I will give you my final thoughts at the end of the video on it, and the price I paid, and my cautionary tale to you. Love y'all. Hey everybody, it's Annette. I wanted to give my final thoughts on the Maloroy, M-A-L-O-R-O-Y Catico Cat Condo. I did go back to Chewy whenever I was having my meltdown and thought I was going to have to send it back, and it's not even available anymore. So either they got a lot of returns, I don't know, realized it was crap and just cut that person out, that vendor out. I don't know why, but it's probably in everyone's best interest. First, I'm going to start off, and I want to keep it as positive as I can, but also I want to be transparent with you as well, because when you're putting your money in things, you need to know if this is a good investment or not. So what did I like about the Maloroy Cat Condo, Catico, as they call it? I like the layout of it. It was a little bit bigger than I thought, I do like the layout with the 3 levels that have the fabric or whatever it's made with, a material that you can wipe clean. I do keep pads on the bottom of it and in the messy areas, but it's easy to clean. They have a big zipper door in front and a little zipper door to the left bottom side that you can get in and clean up messes, refreshing the litter box, feed the cats, and then keep them contained safely. And I like the space it gives the kittens. So those are what I like about it. I like the mesh on there seems to be thick and sturdy. The canvas top and bottom seem to be sturdy material as well. So what I don't like, what are the problems, and why I cannot in good conscience recommend it, and you're willing to go for it if you want to. If you find it somewhere else, it's not on Chewy. It says put your name on a list when available. So I'm really thinking that's something they stopped carrying. What I didn't like about it, I thought it would be an easier one to put up, but that's on me. It was sent in a lot of pieces, kind of like the dog bed, where you have the connectors and the poles and everything. If you've ever put together the dog beds like that, the ones that are off of the floor, they look like little cots. So there were a lot of pieces. Wasn't too thrilled about that. I did not, the first set of instructions that would tell you how many pieces you needed per step, and it had every step on there. I did like that because I knew I needed this many pieces for this many pieces for that. I will tell you that one of the pieces that it said I would need, I had a little anxiety because it said it had at the very top of the instruction thing, and I did like this part. This is this item, and they had the bags marked so you can reference them, and then the parts to the inside that you velcroed in over the bars once you had it assembled. It would say how many parts. Well, one part said it had 65 parts. No, it did not have 65 parts. That was a big typo and a big, oh Lord, what am I getting into? I'm about out of these poles. It says 65, and that is incorrect. I did not like the confusing illustrations because they're small, and as I was working through putting the pieces together before a scream for help from my husband, is very tiny. Even with reading glasses, I mean, when you're looking at a little picture this big and it's got a 1, 2, 3 BB or whatever, however they had it labeled, and you have a gazillion little dots with the gazillion little parts and a tiny little square picture, that was very confusing. There were times when I would look at it and I would be looking at it the wrong way because it was, after looking at it so much and trying to figure it out, it's so small. So I would definitely say either enlarge the instructions, or if you receive it and want to go for it, put it on a copier and make it bigger, because that's very cumbersome. The instructions I thought were a nightmare. Okay, putting it together was really not making a lot of sense. I took it back apart, I don't know how many times after steps 1 and 2, because the rest of them weren't working. That's when I called my husband in, because I'm like, I am stuck. This is confusing me. And it was just very hard to follow. That could be forgivable because look who was look who was trying to put it together. Okay, that could be forgivable. And the small print could also be forgivable because I could have taken it to a copier, but I wanted to put it together that day, and I was at home and did not have access to the work copier. So the biggest flaw, and you're going to say, before you even go there, I'll tell you, it says to put the poles together tightly. We did. We literally pushed them in. You got to make sure they're pushed in tightly to the connectors. We did that. Even doing that right, the cover would not fit. The cover is very, very, sorry, I got a cat coming around. The cover's very confusing because while it unzips, you have to kind of drape it over the frame and then lift up the frame and pull it under, and then get the top and the bottom to meet where the zipper is to zip it back up. I think maybe a zipper in the center to where you could have gotten your bottom assembled and your top assembled might have been easier. Or if they would have given some leeway, at least on the room. There was no room. Absolutely no room. The poles were beginning to bend. We stopped Friday night and determined they're too tall. They're too tall. So my husband had to literally cut 6 of the poles on the last row, cut them down by 4 inches. And then the ones that were going horizontal, we were still getting bent when we were trying to get that cover on it. We had it pulled up as far as we could from the bottom. All the poles were put in. That there was nowhere else for them to slide in. They had been slid in completely. So he had to manually cut with his tools the 4 inches off the 6 poles, and then the ones that were going horizontal, he had to take a 1/2 inch off of 2 of those in order for the width, where the width is, to get that in a little bit more so that the cover would fit on there. Because if you got the cover on as is, and all the poles were the same size, so I don't know. I can't explain. I just think they were too strict on the size of the cover, too long on the poles that they sent. I cannot tell you. It would have made more sense to have longer poles, medium poles, and then shorter poles, honestly. And that's what I would recommend to the company going forward, because you don't need them all to be the same length. It does not work. So the regular person doing this, if you're wanting something that'll go up easily, if you're wanting something that'll be turnkey and easy to assemble and quick to assemble, this does not meet any of those line items. It was at least 2 hours Friday night, and then I think another hour Saturday for us to get everything together, and then me to get it set up. But for the cover on, because when he cut that down, I'm like, okay, this is fitting. And then we saw the ones on the end bending in. So we're having to, and everything's connected. So you're having to like just put some oomph into it to try to get it loose. With all that manual work, confusing diagrams, hard to follow diagrams, not user-friendly as far as getting the cover on. I've never seen anything like that. That was like, it would zip up, but it's still one piece, one big clunky piece, and you're trying to figure out what's the top, what's the bottom, and you're lining up. If you do that, you have to line up the door. Tip, line up the zippered doors at the front where you're going to be entering and letting the kittens out and giving them the fresh food and cleaning litter boxes. So for all the headache, all the trouble, this thing was $99. I would probably even give it a pass if it was maybe $49.99, but for $99.99, the headache, the stress, the manual extra steps we had to take to make it work instead of it coming in and working for us, I cannot in good conscience recommend it. Ours is put together. I will keep it. When the kittens get adopted, I will take it as one whole piece downstairs and store it downstairs somewhere. But most habitats like that, you get those because they're collapsible and you can put them together easily. There is no way I would undo any of this and redo it again. So
because I do like some things in it, but I hate all the other things. I'm not going to do as one person did. One person did write a review. Again, I think this was a new product offered, and he gave a 1 star for a lot of the same reasons that I'm complaining about, but he didn't give any positives. And maybe at his point, he was probably so stressed, you do want to set it on fire. It's literally trying to get that cover on is like trying to put Spanx on a hippo. It is the craziest, most cumbersome thing. I would give it 2 or 3 stars, no more than 3. No way I would ever give it a 4 at the way it is now. Again, unless they go ahead and sand the different assorted poles and make this easier, a cover that's easier to get on and off and put together. 2 or 3 stars, I do not recommend it. It's the Maloroy Catico, currently unavailable on Chewy. We don't know why. Love y'all.